What is up, YouTube? This is T.1 coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about something quite different. See, even though I mainly cover movies and TV on this channel, the art form I spend the most time on is actually books. Peep the channel description for why. But anyway, today's book is Assassin's Creed Forsaken, a tie-in novel to Assassin's Creed 3, a game I've always loved personally. Video game tie-in novels don't seem to be much of a thing anymore, but in my childhood they were everywhere. Some I've enjoyed, like the Bioshock one by John Shirley, but I rarely connect with them.
Fucking thing sucks!
Simply put, there aren't that many games whose mythology can still hold water without a controller in the hand, and even the ones that do, who the fuck wants to read what they already played? Forsaken is something of a pleasant surprise in that way. While the overarching story of the series is shaky at best, Assassin's Creed has a number of strong individual stories, perhaps none more so than 3 in my opinion. This book is, coming to the point, a fun enough beach read of a novel. The prose is authentic to the time period, but not in a way that's distracting. Language has changed so much since the 1700s. If you ever try to go back and read a novel, sometimes it doesn't even feel like it's written in English. This doesn't have that problem. It's very rarely too anachronistic to take you out of it, but it's also much more fast paced and accessible than the literature of the time. However, the real strength of this novel is in its protagonist. While Connor, the lead character of the game, was divisive, I thought he was interesting, but he already had a whole game fleshing him out. No, this novel tells the story of Haytham Kenway, one of the central antagonists of the game, and also the one whom the player controls for the opening hours. Just from that description, you can tell how much conflict this character has, and that's what makes him so compelling. He's sort of in a Goldilocks zone between the grim, intimidating Altair and the playful, charming Ezio. And the novel covers essentially his whole life, told in first person, from age 10 until his death. As such, we get to like him early on. We meet him at such a vulnerable period, and without going too deep into specifics, witness a defining tragedy from his point of view. As with any good first person tale, it's intimate, and we see Haytham in virtually every emotional state over the course of the novel. It juggles a number of tones pretty well, too, although sometimes the fight scenes stretch on. It's well written and exciting, I guess, but often there's very little context for them. It's nowhere near as interesting as the moments when Haytham is alone with his thoughts. But yeah, tone really is something this book does very well. The game was pretty grim, but this novel has a sense of humor that helps keep it more palatable, despite the dark territory it covers. It's still grandiose, but there's a joke here and there that not only makes our conflicted protagonist more likable, but helps keep the darkness from feeling too oppressive. Its pacing is solid as well. There wasn't really a point where I was bored. If anything, I actually wanted it to take its time a little more. And that is something one should know going in. This is supplemental material, no two ways about it. Some characters are introduced in a really awkward, rushed manner, like Faulkner, the sort of first mate character Connor has. There's like a sentence that establishes him. Same with Achilles. And vital events can happen between chapters. This is counting on you having played the games for those to have any sort of impact. And I don't think anyone who's not completed the story of Assassin's Creed 3 is going to get much out of this. Also, if you care about Assassin's Creed canon, though I can't imagine anyone who does at this point, it doesn't fit in very well. There's not really anything that contradicts 3, but Haytham is also a major character in Assassin's Creed Rogue, and these two simply cannot coexist in the same world. That game introduced the idea that Haytham has some real resentment towards his father, Edward, nowhere to be found here, and also that game gives him a history with the assassin Achilles, also nowhere to be found here. But the central story is compelling and it's presented in an interesting way. So, while Forsaken is not a masterpiece, I mean, this is not something they're going to teach in any creative writing classes anytime soon. It is a good time, and if you're a fan, I'd pick it up. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This is T1, signing out.